The morning air on Live with Kelly and Mark was charged with that unpredictable energy the audience has come to crave. The cameras were rolling, the lights were blazing, and Mark Consuelos had that unmistakable mischievous sparkle in his eyes, the kind that told the audience he was about to throw his wife and co-host, Kelly Ripa, directly under the bus. Kelly, of course, sensed it immediately. She leaned back in her chair, one perfectly arched eyebrow raised, coffee mug in hand. "Oh no," she said, narrowing her gaze. "You're smirking. Don't smirk at me before coffee, Mark." But Mark was already committed. "Listen," he began, turning to the audience as though he were about to deliver a courtroom confession. "I feel like I need to let you all in on something very important about my lovely wife." The audience, sensing juicy gossip, erupted in cheers and laughter. Kelly's smile froze into that polite but lethal grin that only spouses can decode. "Oh, here we go," she muttered. "This is going to be some nonsense." Mark placed a hand on his chest. "It's not nonsense. It's the truth. At night, when we go to bed, I never know if I'm going to wake up or if I'm going to be karate chopped in my sleep." The crowd howled. Kelly nearly spat out her coffee. "Excuse me? Karate chopped?" "Yes," Mark insisted, looking directly into the camera for dramatic effect. "This woman, my beautiful, talented, sophisticated wife, becomes a martial arts champion as soon as she closes her eyes. Her arms start flying, her legs start kicking. It's like I'm living with Bruce Lee." The laughter doubled. Kelly clutched her pearls theatrically. "I do not," she said, swatting at him. "Don't listen to him. I don't hit you." Mark recoiled, feigning injury. "Not while you're awake." Even the crew behind the cameras lost it, the sound of muffled laughter echoing through the studio. Kelly leaned forward on the desk, her eyes twinkling with mock outrage. "Okay, let me clarify this for the record. I am a very peaceful sleeper. I barely move. I'm practically comatose." Mark shook his head. "Comatose? Darling, the other night, you elbowed me so hard in the ribs that I thought we were being robbed. I actually sat up in bed ready to defend the house, until I realized the intruder was just my wife." Kelly's jaw dropped. "That is not true." "Oh, it's true," Mark said solemnly, nodding toward the audience, as if they were his jury. "This woman is violent in her sleep. She has no control. It's like she's fighting imaginary battles all night long." Kelly crossed her arms and smirked. "Or maybe," she said sweetly, "I'm fighting you in my dreams." That comeback earned a roar of applause. Mark laughed and leaned closer, lowering his voice in faux seriousness. "You know what the scariest part is? She talks in her sleep, too." The audience gasped in delight. Kelly's face turned crimson. "No, no, no, no. Don't you dare." "Oh, I dare," Mark said with glee. "The other night, you rolled over and muttered, 'I told you not to wear the tight pants on TV.'" Kelly slapped her hands over her face. "That's not." "Okay, wait. First of all, that sounds like something I would say when I'm awake. Second of all, how dare you expose me like this on national television?" The crowd was in hysterics, clapping and cheering like they were at a stand-up comedy show. Mark shrugged innocently. "I'm just giving the people what they want." Kelly peeked at him from between her fingers, her tone dripping with mock menace. "Oh, you want to give the people what they want? How about I tell them about your embarrassing habits?" Mark froze for a split second, the smirk faltering. "Habits? What habits? I have no habits." Kelly turned to the audience, like a seasoned lawyer addressing the jury. "Ladies and gentlemen, my husband snores so loudly that the dog sleeps with noise-canceling headphones." The audience screamed. Mark buried his face in his hands. "That is an exaggeration." "Oh, it is not," Kelly shot back. "I once recorded you, Mark. I thought there was construction happening outside. Turns out it was just you sawing logs like a lumberjack." Mark leaned toward her with a grin. "At least I don't beat people up in my sleep." Kelly didn't miss a beat. "At least I don't put the entire neighborhood on earthquake alert." The laughter in the studio was deafening now. This was the bread and butter of Live with Kelly and Mark, the unscripted, hilarious bickering that reminded everyone why these two had lasted decades together. Mark threw his hands up in surrender. Fine, fine. I admit it. Maybe I snore. But still, the karate moves. Kelly interrupted, wagging her finger. Don't make me get the DVR footage of you sleepwalking into the closet last week. The crowd gasped and clapped, desperate for more. Mark's eyes went wide. You weren't supposed to tell them about that. Kelly shrugged innocently. Oops. For the rest of the segment, the two continued trading playful jabs, Mark insisting that Kelly was a ninja in disguise, Kelly teasing that Mark was one bad dream away from waking the entire block. As the laughter finally began to settle, Kelly looked at the audience with mock exasperation. This is marriage, folks. 28 years, and we're still exposing each other's secrets on live television. Mark took her hand, giving it a squeeze. That's how we keep it fun. Kelly smirked. Fun for you. Embarrassing for me. Next time, I'm bringing in the sleepwalking footage as evidence. The crowd cheered wildly, already imagining the hilarious clip. As the cameras cut to commercial, Kelly leaned over to Mark and whispered just loud enough for the microphones to catch. I don't hit you. Mark grinned. Not while you're awake. And with that, the entire studio dissolved into laughter once more, the perfect snapshot of a marriage built on love, banter, and just enough embarrassing secrets to keep things interesting.